Hello and welcome to the Lazy Gardener. Today we're going to plant out some butternut squash. Let's get started.
Some people dream of good things. Very few people stay awake and do them. People dream of good things.
First I'm going to dig a trench along my homemade butternut squash frame so that I can securely put it into the ground. I'm just using my hose to do this. I'm just going to move the butternut squash frame into the hole and do the exact same thing on the other side. Just settling the frame into the hole and backfilling the trench. I don't want the trench to wobble about, so I want it to be really secure. Just making sure that there's no holes in between the wood chip and the trench. Okay, now I'm going to plant out my butternut squash. It is a butternut squash hunter variety, which is great for the UK weather. This is zone 9A and hardiness. Just digging down to make sure that there's a nice room to incorporate the root bowl. There is quite a lot of wood chips, so I do have to remove a lot of it. I think I went about 5 to 6 inches here. As I put it over the lawn, this used to be a lawn before I made it into a flower bed, so it is quite thick, but it's going to produce wonderful compost. Right, I'm just putting some more fertiliser, that is chicken manure. I'm just popping in. And now I've got my butternut squash. Just taking it out of the pot. Look at them beautiful roots. It looks fantastic. I'm going to pop it in the hole. And make sure that the top of the root ball doesn't go below the soil level. There we go. Just backfilling a little bit of the hole. I made the hole extra large, so I just need to firm it in. There we go. There's just the last of the grass that's died back, just pulling that out so it doesn't interfere with my butternut squash. There we go, looking lovely. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just dig a hole which is a little bit bigger than my butternut squash root ball. The ground is really dry, so it's really easy to dig. There are a few roots that need to come out because there was a bush here, but I thought I got most of them out, but obviously I missed one. This area here is in full sun. This is about 5-6 o'clock in the evening, and I mean there's still sunshine. So it's going to have most of the sun all day because it's south facing, so that's really good. All butternut squash do like full sun. Alright, that's my second butternut squash plant. Just going to be teasing the roots out of this plant because it's starting to think about being pot bound. So that will just promote them to grow out into the soil and not around in the shape of the pot. Right, just putting some more of my chicken fertiliser in there. Lovely. It does look like it's really low down, but this wood chip is very, very thick. Alright, I'm just backfilling and sitting on my other one. I promise I'm not sitting on it. Right, got some really great nutritious compost here. I'm just putting in with some perlite and some blood and bone meal in it, because butternut squash are really hungry. I'm just going to fill the top bit of my hole with this. It's just normal potting compost. Lovely. Some more chicken fertiliser. Like I said, I want to make sure that they get the best start that they can. Great, that's the last of this compost, brilliant. Now I'm just making sure that I cover it with the wood chip to stop any weeds popping back up, especially as it used to be grass here. Lovely, just making sure that the wood chip goes right underneath the leaves of the butternut squash plant, and I will backfill more wood chip when the butternut squash starts to get underway, just moving some of that thick wood chip. Right, now I've got to water the butternut squash in well, because it hasn't rained here for a couple of weeks. I want them to really become nice and watered in. I'm not too bothered about watering the leaves at this point because they're so young. There's no worry about powdery mildew. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for updates. Happy gardening!